Look, let me paint a picture, and I want you to be honest with yourself. It's a Tuesday. Nothing dramatic. You wake up, grab your phone, check your bank account like you always do, and everything seems fine. Not great, but fine. Then your car makes that noise. You know the one. That clunk, grind, squeal noise that immediately makes your stomach drop. You take it to the mechanic, already kind of hoping they'll say, "Oh yeah, it's nothing." They don't. They say, "Yeah, this is going to be about $2,000. And in that exact moment, your brain doesn't think, "How do I pay for this?" It thinks, "Oh no," because you don't have $2,000 just sitting there. You start doing mental gymnastics. Credit card, payment plan. Can I delay this? Can I Uber to work for a month? Can I borrow from my parents again? And suddenly, a completely normal life expense feels like a full-blown financial crisis. If that scenario made you uncomfortable because it felt a little too real, yeah, that's not an accident. My name is Kevin, and I spend way too much time thinking about why normal, predictable expenses completely wreck people financially. If you're someone who feels like you're doing okay, but one surprise bill would send everything into chaos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're talking about the $2,000 emergency that breaks 60% of Americans, and more importantly, why it happens, even to people who technically earn decent money. And here's the thing. This problem has almost nothing to do with intelligence and way more to do with psychology, bad incentives, and a financial system that quietly pushes you into fragility. Let's start with a stat that sounds fake, but unfortunately isn't. According to multiple surveys from places like the Federal Reserve, roughly 6 in 10 Americans cannot cover a $2,000 emergency without borrowing money. Not a $10,000 emergency, not a medical catastrophe. $2,000. That's a car repair. That's a dental procedure. That's a busted HVAC unit. That's a vet bill. And before you think, yeah, but that's probably just low-income households, here's what most people don't realize. This includes people earning $75,000, $100,000, even more. So clearly, the issue isn't just income. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Kevin, but isn't this just because people are bad with money? Look, some people absolutely make dumb decisions. We're going to talk about that. But here's what most people don't realize. The modern financial system is designed to make emergencies feel optional, until they aren't. You're constantly told, put your money to work, invest early, don't let cash sit idle, enjoy your life. You deserve it, and all of that sounds reasonable, until a tire blows out. Then suddenly, liquidity matters a lot. Let's talk about why $2,000 is such a dangerous number. Psychologically, it's too big to ignore, but too small to feel worth preparing for. People don't think, I should build a fund for random $2,000 disasters. They think, I'll deal with it if it happens. Here's the problem. Life doesn't ask for permission, and emergencies don't show up one at a time. Let's do some painfully simple math. Say you make $60,000 a year. That's about $3,800 per month after taxes, depending on where you live. Now subtract. Rent, $1,400. Car payment, $400. Insurance, $150. Utilities, $200. Groceries, $400. Phone plus subscriptions, $150. You're already at $2,700. That leaves $1,100. Sounds okay, right? Except that money slowly disappears into eating out gas, random Amazon orders, one wedding, one birthday, one trip. And suddenly, you're not saving, you're surviving. So when the $2,000 hit comes, it doesn't come out of extra money. It goes on a credit card. Because here's what actually breaks people financially. It's not the emergency, it's the interest. Let's say you put that $2,000 on a credit card at 24% APR. If you only make minimum payments, that $2,000 emergency quietly turns into $2,600, $2,900, $3,200. And now future emergencies stack on top of past ones. This is how people end up saying, I make good money. Why am I always broke? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't consciously choose to be financially fragile. They drift into it. As income goes up, expenses follow. Not because people are irresponsible, but because their reference point changes. A nicer apartment feels normal. A newer car feels reasonable. Eating out feels earned. And look, I'm not anti-enjoying life, but here's what nobody tells you. Every fixed expense you add reduces your margin for error. Emergencies don't care that your life feels balanced. Emergency funds are emotionally unattractive. There's no dopamine, no growth chart, no flex. It's just sitting there. So people delay it. They say, I'll start once my income is higher. I'll do it after I pay off this card. I'll invest instead. But here's what most people don't realize. An emergency fund isn't an investment. It's insurance against becoming desperate, and desperation is expensive. Now, you might be thinking, Kevin, I literally don't have extra money to save. I hear this all the time. So let's be honest. If you have subscriptions you barely use, eat out multiple times a week, upgrade phones regularly, finance depreciating stuff, you do have margin. You just don't see it as emergency money yet. This isn't about deprivation, it's about reordering priorities. Here's a simple rule I want you to remember. Your first financial goal is not investing, it's surviving without debt. Before Roth IRAs, before crypto, before index funds, you need $2,000 in cash, not $20,000. Not 6 months of expenses, just $2,000. Because once you can handle small emergencies, your entire financial stress level drops. Here's a realistic plan. Step 1. Set a target of $2,000 in a separate savings account. Step 2. Automate $50 to $100 per paycheck. That's it. No motivation required. In 6 to 10 months, you're protected from car repairs, medical bills, emergency travel appliance failures, and suddenly, life feels calmer. This is the part nobody talks about. Once you have an emergency fund, you stop panicking. You stop making desperate decisions. You stop saying yes to bad credit. You negotiate better. You wait. You think clearly. Money decisions made without fear are better decisions. I've seen this play out countless times. Two people, same income, same emergency. One has no savings. One has $2,000. One spirals into debt for years. The other is annoyed for a week. Same problem. Completely different future. The $2,000 emergency isn't breaking people because it's unexpected. It's breaking people because they were already stretched too thin. Emergency funds don't make you rich, they make you stable. And stability is the foundation of everything else. Look, nobody posts emergency funds on Instagram, but the people who quietly build them, they sleep better, they stress less, they win long term. So here's your challenge. This week, open a savings account. Name it Do Not Touch. Put something in it. Because the next emergency is coming. Not because you're unlucky, but because you're human. And this time, you don't have to let it break you. If this helped you see money differently, hit the thumbs up, subscribe for more real-world financial advice, and I'll see you in the next one.